Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at a very, very wet Clarence Park, where the Saints gone down to a 3-1 National League South defeat to Championship chasing Havant and Waterlooville. I thought early on, particularly in that first half, Havant looked really good. First 10 minutes we had a succession of corners. Dean made a good save, had one off the line, he went ahead on 20, got a somewhat soft penalty, it looked just before half time, and at 2-0 they looked to be sailing. But that second half we caused them a lot of problems and got back into the game.
Yeah, we've had the, as you said there, we've had the opportunity that got disallowed as well for James Klotsky that's come back off the goalkeeper in the first half and would have made it 1-1. But no, I felt their first 10 minutes sort of set the tone for the first half. I felt they came out the blocks a lot quicker than us, caused us a few problems in terms of the pattern of play they were playing. They kept the ball well, and as you said, they had a succession of corners. But you know, we've gone 1-0 down and then had a bit of a reaction, and then the soft penalty just before half time again really is difficult to pick the players up. But as I said, you know, we've got nothing to lose now. We've just got to keep trying to win games of football, and I felt the second half we came out and had the right go. And I've just said to the players that we have to take all the positives from the second half today, the second half against Bath, and obviously the performances against Welling and Hemel. But we can't have the first half performances that we've had against Bath and again today against Havant, because it leaves us a mountain to climb every single time. But you know, a little bit of luck, we could have got something out of that in the second half. We've had enough chances there. Keeper's made 4 or 5 really good saves, and we've had 1 or 2 just deflected over the bar or wide of the goal area. And as I say, we could have quite easily come away with a 3-3 draw there.
We'll talk about 2 penalties. Start with their one just before half time. It looked a soft decision, and for a while, must be a good 10 or 15 seconds, nobody really knew what the referee had given, whether he had given a dive or he had given a penalty.
Well, I think if you look at the referee's reaction to start with, he pointed up the pitch. So that's why we felt at the time that, you know, he'd obviously taken notice of what had happened, was going to give us a free kick, and we continue with the game. And then for some reason he's changed his mind. But from where I'm standing, David, listen, neither of them were penalties, and I think the second penalty given to us in the last couple of minutes made up for the penalty that he gave them. So, you know, it's just the same old. We go over it every single week. At the end of the day, it's they're poor decisions, and we have to live with them. I didn't think ours was a penalty. Theirs definitely wasn't a penalty. The reaction to put his hand up the pitch and give us the free kick and then change his mind, I think was the reaction to our players again. You've seen it when we was at Weymouth, and the reaction to the players again today, that they've all gone to the referee, because obviously you've seen what's happened, and it's a big decision at that stage of the game, because that's literally just 3 or 4 minutes before half time. So instead of me going in at 1-0 down with the team going down the hill with the slope, and they can obviously take some opportunities and try and take some chances to go at Havant, we've gone in at 2-0 down, and we have to be careful, because we said all along the third goal was the difference between both sides. And once we got to 2-1, we've had some great chances to get back to 2-2, and by throwing bodies forward, we've left ourselves a little bit exposed at the back, and they've obviously punished us.
Well, the penalty we got late in the game, Josh Oyusan on his debut, I should say, had it saved. Follow up, 2 of those blocked, and the final follow up went over the crossbar. We could have got back into it then.
Well, yeah, yes, exactly, and as you say, it's just some days it's yours, some days it's not, and I think that sums it up. I mean, the keeper's made the first save is a good save. The second save for me is the one to follow up, because he's got back across the goal and made a fantastic save, and then I think somebody on the goal line has obviously saved it. But you've got to say that's good defending on their behalf at the end of the day. You know, we've hit the targets, we haven't scored, but it's not as if we've missed the targets. We've actually, all 3 have hit the target. They've made 2 fantastic saves, and a third one's a block. And then even the 2 in the last couple of minutes from Frankie Masunda, which has deflected off one fella and gone over the bar, and then the follow-up has gone straight over the bar again as it's just landed on top of the net. So in that period alone, we've had probably 5 really good opportunities to take something from the game. So, but I have to say, take the positives from the second half, but we need to have 90 minutes now, not 45 minutes here and 45 minutes there.
We had 2 debutants today. Do you want to say a few words first of all about Josh there?
Yeah, I mean, Josh is obviously, you've seen what he is. He's 6'5", he's big, he's strong, he's powerful. Good goal scoring record last year with Cambridge City. You know, we spoke to a few people about him, and you know, they said he's a presence, which is what we need. It's a presence that will put teams under pressure and obviously help us. But you know, we've still got, you know, get Albert up to full fitness. We've got to get Sam Merson back, and we've got to get Joe Ciafiano back, because you know that's where our goals have been. So we have to get them back fully fit. We've got Tuesday night, and then we've got a nice break for 10 days where we hopefully can work a lot on their fitness levels and try and get them back. But again, it gives us competition for places, which is what we've needed. But also we need to put balls in the box in terms of some of the quality that has to be better. Some of our corners have to be better, and some of our set pieces have to be better. But if we do that and we get good chances, create chances, then and hopefully we've got players there that will take them opportunities that come along.
And he's had to wait a couple of weeks, but Tommy Brewer finally got his debut today.
Yeah, and I think at the moment, and we spoke at length about how he's got to be careful because he can't go flying in and make silly challenges. We've spoke to him about that, and he knows about that because obviously sometimes a reputation follows you around, so we've got to be careful. But I felt it was nice and steady. He was dictated when he got on the ball, when he didn't, and he was a presence in and around there. And that was a tough game. They're good players. Just mark no words about that. They're an excellent side. A lot of them played in the National League last year with Sutton. So we have to accept what it was. Tough game. But for me, loads of positives today in terms of where we are. And we've got to take that forward now to especially Tuesday night, and then obviously when we go to Tonbridge in 2 weeks' time.
As you say, you should have Joe Ishifano back then. I think Sam Merson would be more of a problem, wouldn't he? You'll have Tom Bender back by then because his suspension will be over, but you've still got Joe Howe and Taylor Miles.
Well, exactly. I mean, and Solomon as well, and Webakai. So we've got 6 players out today in terms of where we are, but that's football at the end of the day. We've managed to put a decent squad out. I think the players have done exceptionally well, especially in the second half. In poor conditions, I mean, it's not taken away. It's quite windy and wet and rainy, and I felt the second half though we started to pass the ball a lot quicker and a lot sharper than what we'd done in the first half. But we've got to take them positives, and as I say, we can't afford to have these 45 minutes where it takes us a long time to get started in games because we can't keep chasing these games. We've got to be on the front foot. We know we've got to have wins, we've got to get balls in the box, and we've got to score goals, and that's only going to come by being positive, being on the front foot and taking things forward. But as you say, we've got to get everybody back fit now, and then we're going to have to make some big decisions on the setups, in which way we go, and on what players will be playing and what players will be sitting on the bench. So, but it's nice to have a competition for places.
Talking to somebody from Havant earlier today, he was saying their away form is much better than their home form, and it's the same for us really. We've now lost 5 in a trot at home, and we've got to get into that run, haven't we? Well,
we have, exactly as we've said it. The home form's poor, and it's not only that, we're getting beaten quite heavily with the threes and the fours. So, but we to win any game of football, we have to score goals, and we have to defend better than we did in the first half. But let's not, as I say, take anything away from Havant. They reacted quicker than us in the first half to their first goal. Very fortunate with the penalty they got, and then, as I say, 2-0 up. It was always going to be difficult because we had to chase. Once we chase, we're always going to leave ourselves exposed to the counter-attack, and if we could have got back to 2-2 and then just made it a little bit more tense and a little bit nervous, we might have gone and nicked something. But unfortunately, we haven't been good enough on the day. We have to accept that. But as I said, let's get everybody back now. Let's get everybody in terms of the injured players, and we've got to just get a system that's going to suit us, and hopefully we don't pick any injuries or suspensions up into the next few weeks going into the Christmas period, because that's going to be a vital period in time of where we are. We've got to play a lot of teams in the middle of the table, and we've got to start picking up some 3 points. As you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, Bishop Stortford on Tuesday in the Hearts Senior Cup. You haven't won it with us yet, won it with a couple of other clubs, and with a break coming up next Saturday, I'd imagine you put out as strong a side as possible. Yeah, I mean, as I said, we won't be able to use any of the injured players. Maybe Solomon might be one, Joe Howe might be, but we have to just assess them on Monday really, and then see where we are Tuesday. But certainly after that, we've got an opportunity to get some of the other players back fit, but also some of the players still need games. As I say, Albert still needs to get his performance level back up in terms of the games he's playing. Josh Ersin needs to obviously come in and start playing with us, and so we've got lots of things to play for in terms of that side of it. But we've got to go as strong as we can and take it as seriously as we can, because, as I said all along, is that winning breeds confidence, and I think we've seen that today in the second half over the last 2 weeks, that the performances against Bath, Hemel and Welling is starting to bring a confidence back into the team. And as I just said to them there, our second half performance is as good as seen for a long time, and we've got to take that forward now to Tuesday night. Can we expect any more signings before the next league game in a couple of weeks' time? I wouldn't think so now. No, we have to put this all to bed now, and as I say, we'd have to look at the squad. The squad's too big now from where the club is, but obviously we've got some injuries which are taking a little bit longer to clear up. So they're all the areas that once everyone's back fit, we'll have to look, because some people won't be playing, and it won't be right for them sitting in the stands. We might have to get some players out on loan, getting some games elsewhere for a while.
Lovely, thanks very much, Ian. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
So, a reminder event on Tuesday night, Hearts Senior Cup, first round, Saints at home to Bishop Stortford. Kick-off at Clarence Park is at 7:45.